Hey guys, I was doing like 4 or 5 hours of coaching last night and the same thought kept coming back to me. What do my athletes do when they're by themselves, they're doing their rep training, they're doing their extra training by themselves, and they don't have a coach with them, and they're missing shots? How do you approach that? For me, when I was younger, it was kind of like a guessing game. Like you had no idea whether you're gonna make these shots, miss them shots, and you're just kind of thinking, okay, I'm just gonna rep it out. I'm just gonna get volume, till I kind of fluke a few things and my body figures out power, but maybe I'm developing bad habits, but you have no real sense how to control whether I'm making or missing these shots. Even though I have a facility here, I coach hundreds of athletes, you don't need a trainer to get really better at basketball. It's okay to be by yourself in an empty gym. 95% of your practice will not be with a trainer, it'll be you, yourself. Hands getting black because the ball's dirty as hell when it's outside, putting in hours no one ever sees. So when I give you these tips today, this is exactly for that. I'm gonna teach you guys how I approach it if I make mistakes when I'm shooting or when I'm playing with my friends, or even how I would teach athletes if they're buggering it up, they're making a few too many mistakes. To keep it really simple, there's 4 things that make up a really good jump shot. First, hand placement. What does hand placement mean? When I'm like holding the ball with my dominant shooting hand, I'm right-handed, so I'm giving you my right hand demo. I'm not ever trying to palm the ball, so I'm not trying to like over flex my hand. I'm making sure that my thumb's up, okay, almost like on a diagonal. And I'm shooting through like these 3 fingers here. I'm like trying to go down to the ball, not laterally through my thumb left and right. But it's not also just how you hold the ball, it's also the alignment of the basketball. Like for myself, I'm slightly in that right hip, so like the ball's slightly in front of my right hip, my wrist is loaded and the line's consistent. So when I get under and go through my shot, I don't want to have the ball weaving too much. I just want to be going back and going through my action. It also means that my wrist is flexed, okay? So when I get in my action, the first thing I think about is hands. You could have the prettiest jump shot in the world, but if your hands are always changing, your shot's always gonna be changing. Secondly is base. When I think about my base, my glute depth, I'm really big on if your base is changing, it's really hard to be consistent because then your timing's changing and your power's changing. So what I do here is I work on like dropping into quarter depth or stepping into it, and I keep my quarter depth through my shot. Almost like you're doing like a high box squat. Because if I'm here, I'm of that quarter depth of my frame, I can always drive up through my base and my power is easy to access and it's consistent. Those first 2, that hand placement and my base, I connect it. So whenever I catch the ball, I'm always thinking hands and base set for a split second, then I'm driving up through it. I'm always ticking those first 2 off. The third thing we need to talk about is your set point. Upper body, lower body, doesn't matter, but the main thing is that you have one. We'll look at any great shooter around the world, thumb flick, no thumb flick, male, female, the thing they do exceptionally well if they have a high clip from 3 is they always get underneath the basketball. So hands get set, base gets set, and then we get under the ball to our set point. So I'm breaking this through, I'm catching the ball, hands and base get set, and I'm hitting my set point and I'm going through my shot. The 4th thing, and probably the most in action for you to focus on at home, you could tick the form off, but if you don't have pace and trust going into it, you're simply not going to be consistent. To be an extremely consistent shooter, you need 2 things. You need great form, which we just covered, and you need great power. How do we develop really good power? Start simple, speed. I get my hands and base set, I can take all the time in the world here, but then from here onwards, I'm fluid. I'm just backing myself, I'm shooting with conviction, I'm trusting myself as I get into the action. I got pace going through it. We never, ever want to miss shots because we doubt ourselves. You must shoot with trust. You must back yourself. So if you're in an open gym or you're training by yourself, to keep it very simple, if I'm missing, start with base and hands. That way you can just take your time getting base and hands set. And then once you do, awesome. I've ticked those out of the 4. My next one, I'm making sure I get to my set point and I'm moving through my shot. Awesome, you've ticked 3, then make sure you tick off pace, and it would be extremely unlikely if you're not being consistent ticking those 4 things. That's the same way that I address it. If something's going wrong with my shot, I just peel it back. Base gets set, hands get set point gets set, and I drive through and I back myself. Now we understand what to do. How would I structure a workout if I'm by myself? I'm at home, under the ring, I'm outside, maybe I'm in an empty gym. What do I really go do? Besides your warm up, let's imagine we tick that off. I always start with some ball handling. Sounds funny, I'd like to warm my hands up. I always want to have some just power going through my fingertips. Once I do my ball handling, I go over to the ring. I always do 5 net form shots. The difference that I do with compared to most coaches is I make sure when I do my form shots is my elbow speed's really quick and my hands are soft. So under the ring, my legs are locked out. That's important because I don't want to have too much power when I'm close to the ring. I'm close to the ring, legs locked out, I'm quick through my elbow, and I'm locking through, my hand is like soft snapping over. I don't want to ever have like a lot of tension through my fingertips. I want just soft snapping through my follow through. So my first 5, my thumbs up, my elbows quick, snapping through your form. Once you have 5 net, you then take, I always like a fun one where I'll like make 1 net, take a step back, and I have to get 5 in a row. So I make 1 net close, baby step back, make 1 net, and I work my way back until I get 5 in a row. I hit ring at any point and back to the start. So just make 1, step back, make 1, step back until they have to be all swish. So swish, step back, ultimately till you get 5. A little bit harder than you think because the further you get out, everyone starts slowing down and just make sure we have early pace. So my hand's still like snapping through it rather than stop start too much. Then 2 hands, same thing. About like a meter or 2 out from the ring's fine. My hands are set. I'm fluid as. You don't want to be, when I'm here and holding the ball, I never want to be going slow. I like being close and just being fluid through my follow through. Putting early pace through my shot. Then I repeat the same thing. Make 1 net, take a step back. Work my way back till I get 5 net in a row. It's sneaky challenging. I promise you it's sneaky challenging. Give it a crack. Then when I get my form stuff done, I take it probably 2-3 meters back. I get my quarter depth. So as an example, I would always like stop. I get my hands and base set. And then from here, I'm just fluid through my shot. I work on just what we talked about. Hands and base get set. And then I'm fluid through. I'm just trying to be moving through my action, not stop and starting. Then, after I make 10 of those and I'm really happy with those makes, I then will get into some mid-ranges. So I will go pull up middies, 7 spots. When I'm getting into it, I'll always just sort of think, maybe change the bounces up, change the footwork up. Going in, at the start, I'll always like hold hands and base get set, and then just work on being fluid. Big focus, because you're gonna have more pace going through this than typically normal. Just make sure like I'm not thrusting through my hips. I'm not trying to be here and just like, jumping laterally through it. Hands and base will always get set. And then from here, I'm just fluid through my action. Then get to your shooting stuff, repeat the same thing. 3s, throw the ball out, get to your drops, get to your step in 3s. But I'll say it again, keep that glute depth consistent. We don't want to be bouncing our glutes around. Okay, so if I'm going into a 3 here, I'm stepping in, my base is consistent, and then I'm driving into my action. Here's the fun stuff. You get 7 spots done. You make, let's say you make 6 of each, you're feeling really good. Those reps don't really count because they're all stationary. Okay, they're stationary reps, then they're pretty easy. Now you literally can get your rebound if you're by yourself. You catch the ball, you pitch it up in the air towards the 3, you sprint into it, you get hands and base set, then you go into your shot. Okay, you go freestyle, left to right side, make 20 of them. Just throw, run, hands and base get set, and then you just fluid through it. Then from there, same thing, under the ring, pitch it out, catch, pump fake, hard bounce, controlled sidestep. When I'm saying controlled sidestep, I'm meaning like I'm running and I'm catching, I'm pump faking, controlled sidestep when my glutes aren't changing. Just for those really hard closeouts, quick pump fakes, early sidestep. I'll give you a little bit of tidbit. A bunch of athletes, when they think about pump faking, they think about sprinting away from your defense. You're not in a rush. The moment they're in the air, take advantage, a little sidestep, and then go straight into it. We don't want to be like running away, because those steps give them time to go contest it. So just let them be in the air, 1 pump fake, quick sidestep. It's not about distance. Distance is overrated. Now we've broken down what you would do if you're in an empty gym, you got time to work on it. That's how I would go approach it. Now, moving into, if you're in a game, okay, you're quick in, you've stepped into the game, you've checked in, you've had maybe a few drives to get in the ring, it's now your time to get some shots up. Open 3s, what do we do? How do we approach it? Really simple, same concept. Catch the ball, hands and base are set. If it is open, you back yourself and you take it. You have that trust factor being really high when you get into your action. Speed's being applied. But if you're missing, back to the steps. Running into it, hands and base, fluid, trusted, work your way through. Okay, we don't want to be overthinking it. You make 1 shot, get out of your head, just go play basketball. But if you are missing, okay, hands and base, check yourself, make sure you get set, and then back it and have pace going through it. Even though I have hundreds of athletes that come in here every week and they're working on it in a game-like setting, that does not mean you can't still develop your game by yourself, in the rain, outside at home, at a random school. It is up to you to simply work hard and put the stuff we talk about into practice. You do not need a fancy gym and a funky trainer to get after. You simply don't, okay? This day and age, you can learn so much online, and all the stuff we're talking about, hands, base, set point, pace, trust, you don't need me, okay? You can set up a phone by yourself outside. Hell, I'd love to see some videos. Working on it, send it through. Hands and base get set, you back yourself, and you just go for it. I've had so many athletes text me game, film with like Jono, first 3 shots I missed, I realized I did this, this, and this, and I was sweet. I banged 6 more in the 4th. Get after it, work hard, we'll get there.